Invocations.
Abu Bakr Alsaddiq, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I called all people to Islam. Everybody thought it over at least for a while, but this was not the case with Abu Bakr. The moment I presented Islam to him, he accepted it, without the slightest hesitation. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, was born in Mecca to Banu Taym, a sub-clan of the Quraysh tribe. He was a merchant and highly respected as a judge. He also used to interpret dreams, and he was a genealogist. Abu Bakr was a very close companion of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. So, he knew how honest and upright the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, really was. That is why he was one of the first converts to Islam. As soon as the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, told Abu Bakr about the revelation that he received, Abu Bakr believed him and immediately accepted Islam. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, himself remarked, I called all people to Islam. Everybody thought it over at least for a while, but this was not the case with Abu Bakr. The moment I presented Islam to him, he accepted it, without the slightest hesitation. In fact, as soon as he became a Muslim, Abu Bakr was a great believer. He immediately began to teach others about Islam. Abu Bakr loved the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, so much that he would gladly risk his life for the sake of protecting and comforting him, peace and blessings be upon him. One day, the Prophet was offering his prayers at the Kaaba, while some of the chiefs of Mecca were sitting around. Uqba ibn Abu Mu'ayt, a great enemy of Islam, saw the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, praying. So he took a long piece of cloth and headed towards him. He intended to strangle the Prophet. At that moment, Abu Bakr was passing by and saw what Uqba was trying to do. He immediately ran to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, pushed Uqba away, and removed the cloth from around the Prophet's neck. Seeing this, the supporters of Uqba, the enemies of Islam, started beating Abu Bakr ferociously. Abu Bakr, however, didn't mind being beaten because he knew that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was safe. The leaders of Mecca started a campaign of terror on the Muslim minority, especially the slaves and those who were weak. Abu Bakr played a great role in releasing the oppressed slaves from their masters. He was a wealthy man and used to spend his money to buy the slaves, then he would set them free. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, gave Abu Bakr the title As-Siddiq. This title has a special meaning. As-Siddiq means a person who is very sincere, and this was really what Abu Bakr was like. He was so sincere to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that he never had the least doubt about his truthfulness. He believed the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, no matter what he said. Remember the time the Prophet ascended to heaven and his night journey to Jerusalem? One day, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, called the people of Mecca together and told them that the night before he had taken a real journey to Jerusalem, and not only that, he had also ascended to the heaven and returned. All this took place in just one night. This was one of the Prophet's miracles. As you can imagine, the people of Mecca did not believe the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Abu Bakr was not there when the Prophet told this to the people. Later, a man came to tell him what the Prophet had said, and he asked him, "Would you believe it?" Thereupon, Abu Bakr replied without any hesitation, "I would believe him in anything he said." What a wonderful response! By his conviction, He taught humanity about real sincerity. When the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, heard about Abu Bakr's attitude, he said, "Indeed, Abu Bakr is As-Siddiq." When Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, migrated from Mecca to Medina, Abu Bakr was the only one the Prophet chose to be his companion on this very important and blessed journey. Another privilege Abu Bakr was given was that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, married Abu Bakr's daughter, Aisha. May Allah be pleased with her. Abu Bakr took part in all of the battles with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Just before the Battle of Tabuk, the Prophet called the people to give from their wealth to pay for the expedition. On this occasion, Abu Bakr donated all his wealth. He gave everything he owned to help prepare the Muslims for battle. He knew for sure that Allah would provide for his family. What great faith he had. His caliphate. The death of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was a great shock to all the people. Some just could not believe what had happened, while others became confused. No one knew what to do. In the middle of all this confusion, Abu Bakr called out to the people and addressed them, saying, "O people, whoever worshipped Muhammad, let him know that Muhammad has died. But whoever worships Allah, indeed, Allah is alive and never dies." Abu Bakr was elected as the caliph. All the Muslims, including Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, pledged allegiance to Abu Bakr. That means they promised to support him in every good thing he did. After the death of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, some people with weak faith renounced Islam, and others refused to pay the Islamic tax. Zakat. If everyone refused to pay zakat, the poor people would not receive any help. Abu Bakr knew what to do. He dealt with the matter in a strict and serious way. He waged wars against any people who refused to give over the rights of the poor. Finally, everything settled down. After Abu Bakr won this victory, he began to take steps to protect Islam against its external enemies, the Persians and the Romans. Each time Abu Bakr sent troops out to fight, he would give them instructions to fear Allah, honor the enemy's representatives, and to never kill children, women, or men who had no weapon. His death. On the 7th of Jamad al-Akhir, 13 after Hijrah, Abu Bakr became ill. He had a high fever. The people tried everything they could think of to bring down the fever, but all in vain. It became clear to the aged caliph that his hour of death was approaching. Even in these last days, Abu Bakr was worried about the future of Islam. He wanted to make sure that nothing would go wrong after him. He spared no effort in settling down the violent storms of unrest that had broken out after the Prophet's death. He did not want this to happen after his own death. That is why Abu Bakr nominated Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, to be his successor. After being ill for 2 weeks, Abu Bakr passed away. He was 63 years old when he died. He was buried next to the grave of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.